In the United States, sex trafficking is one of the major issues that affects each and every one of us. Many of these cases go through several different jurisdictions, which makes it hard for police to actually find the criminals behind these cases. The United States Department of State states that at least 600,000 people are sex trafficked internally each year, and that 70% of these victims are women and the other 50% are children. Overall, there are about 46 million victims in sex trafficking. Many of these victims are from third world countries with bad record keeping, and they are often presumed dead or missing. Missing person cases are often mishandled by both the police and the justice system. In the past, there was a 72-hour waiting period that had to be absorbed before a missing person report could even be filed. This was abolished since, but those who still follow this practice can face heavy lawsuits. With states' heavy workload, cases are often pushed aside and forgotten by the justice system. The Department of Homeland Security states that there are many missing Indigenous women and children that are missing at alarming rates. It is also reported that the state mishandles these cases and never actually follows through with finding these children and women. The National Institute of Justice states that the workload for these agencies is staggering, with more than 40,000 sets of human remains that cannot be identified. They also go on to say that only a small portion of these remains are actually identified, with about 6,000. These states are incapable of working alone, and they obviously need support. And most kidnappers recognize this. They use this to their advantage, and they take many of these children across state lines so they can never be identified. Even though the FBI is needed in helping and aiding these states, they essentially never come quick enough to save these children that are in danger. In many cases, police have been suspected in actually working with these criminals by taking bribes, buying children, and even being involved in sex trafficking rings. In a report by the United Nations, it is stated that it is possible to outline some patterns of corruption specific to human trafficking crime, and go on to say that they have even found police aiding with these kidnappers by providing information on their future possible victims, ignoring aspects of investigations, and even tossing away evidence that could help in aiding these cases. Police play a huge part in sex trafficking as a whole, and they could be one of the main reasons why sex trafficking is even still alive. Trafficking has been around since forever, it can track even back to the slaves. It's never going to end, but there are many ways that we can prevent the rise of sex trafficking. As technology is evolved, it can aid in tracking these criminals. The police can use this technology to aid and stop these criminals who are taking our vulnerability and using it to their benefit to take these children and women away from their homes. States can do better by vetting in police and other officials with immediate response and searches when they're going out to find these individuals. We can use our technology to communicate and decrease the number of victims. The national database should be made required and used to our benefit. The NCM, which works with the police, can also help aid in using these technologies to find these children. As we go on to track these children down, we have all these different elements that can help us in finding these children and women and taking them back to their homes instead of giving up and becoming hopeless in our findings. Thank you.